compensation is both an art and a science. I think, how do we pay people to do the things that we want them to do and adequately reward them when they exceed expectations, and also discourage the things that we don't want. And when a salesperson can make their quota doing what they've always done and selling what they've always sold, we find that it's difficult to get them to sell the new things or the new way. So talk to us a little bit about compensation and what kinds of changes that may need to go through, and people beyond sales have compensation. And now that we're reaching into more of the organization in order to deliver SaaS solutions, does their compensation change?
As you quite rightly say, comp is an art. It is a clear art form. And again, we've seen organisations virtualise the business, get the process right, and then leave the comp alone. And then 3 to 6 months later, shrugging their shoulders and challenging the business, why aren't we selling this? Why haven't we seen this shift? Why can't we respond to market demand? So it's one of the priorities in any form of transformation, that people, process, tools. Wherever you place comp, it's critical. There's two ways to look at it. Compensation, if done well, will align to the strategy. So it will complement where the corporate wants to go or where it wants to be, and quite rightly drive behaviour. From a sales perspective, it needs to reward for where the corporate wants to be. And if you're going through this process of moving from one-time to services or SaaS, it's at least got to be equal to selling a one-time solution. So if you can get that equitable status, then the sales organisation is in a position to empower that sales team to provide or do what's best for the client. Because back to that very first question, there may well be clients that stick with a traditional on-prem or hosted environment for a security reason, or they wish to have a hybrid environment. So they'll put email and desktop device or applications into the cloud, but their core services remain on-premise. So you want to enable and empower the team to do what's right for the client, which is why that comp needs to cover both aspects.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to really shift the business, you can obviously push the lever a little harder and go, we'll reward multiples for selling a particular outcome. But again, it's still got to be with the customer's best interests at heart, on the basis that as a sales organisation, you've got your strategy right and your business outcomes are aligned to market.
It is true, because if you over-incentivize and ultimately create sort of bad sales behaviour because they want to grab that carrot, the customer ends up usually being sold something that they didn't need, didn't want, or doesn't deliver what they were expecting, and that ill will in the market does far more damage, doesn't it?
Correct. And again, this is why compensation is such an art. It is integral. It is the glue that brings the sales strategy and the sales motion together.